Now, Prince Harry has threatened to take legal action against the BBC over reports he did not ask the Queen for permission to use the name for his daughter, Lilibet.
The choice to use Her Majesty's nickname had already raised some eyebrows after Oprah's sensational tell-all interview with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and the dispute seems far from over. Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor, a healthy baby girl born just 6 days ago and already surrounded by royal drama.
It's the name that King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, used to call Princess Elizabeth when she was very small. Why? Well, it's because it was how Princess Elizabeth pronounced her own name, Elizabeth. She went Lilibet, and that's why she was always called that.
The BBC has reported that the Queen was not asked by Meghan and Harry over the use of her childhood nickname, citing a palace source. But a spokesperson for the Duke of Sussex hit back at those claims, saying the Prince shared their hope of naming their daughter Lilibet in her honour, adding, had Her Majesty not been supportive, they would not have used the names. And just hours later, threatening legal action against the broadcaster. Yet more controversy for the royals, with the fallout from the pair's controversial Oprah interview still fresh.
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
Sunrise Royal editor Rob Jobson joins us from London. Jobbo, this is just getting messier and messier. How credible are these reports, and do you think Harry will follow through with legal action?
Well, I don't think he should. I think the reality is that clearly the BBC have spoken to someone very senior at the very top, and they've said that they wouldn't deny it. And now, that was last night. I spoke to someone this morning and they still said they wouldn't deny it. The story is still up on the BBC website and the tweets haven't been taken down either. So I think the BBC will probably stick to their guns a little bit on this because the source is pretty high up the top and it's not, some invented source. Now, there's been some confusion clearly along the way, Koshi, in this conversation. It depends when it happened with the Queen and Prince Harry. If he said he hoped to be naming the baby Lilibet in her honour, the Queen might well have just said, oh, well, wonderful. But it was, about an hour before they made the announcement. So it's a bit of a fait accompli. I know that when George was being named George, that William went to see the Queen a little time beforehand and got it all clarified. So I think it's all to do with the semantics here, and it's all got caught. It's all a bit of a briefing war for who said what, when and how. So we're not going to find out.
So, the whole world's discussing this name now in sort of disparaging terms. As we were just saying, why would the palace people, the boffins, dig in and go so hard on this, prompting the legal action? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think it's Harry that's got in a bit hard, to be honest, Nat, because, I think the briefing was along the lines to a broadcaster saying, look, we understand that it hadn't been cleared beforehand, but it's not the end of the world. The Queen's quite happy, and that was the way it was put, I think. I think it's a sort of difference between, when broadcasters now, everyone's blogging and doing everything. When you start writing something down, it's different to if you're describing it over some advice given to you to broadcast, I think. And I think that's what's probably happened here, that they've gone hard and fast with it, probably a bit stronger than they wanted to, the BBC. And that's then immediately got Harry's back up in the aftermath of all this BBC row with Bashir.
But the palace hasn't come to support Harry on this.
Well, they won't.
Why?
They haven't but they haven't supported the BBC either. The reality why is because basically I think that they believe that the Queen wasn't advised beforehand. It's a question of how you look at it, really, isn't it? The fact is Harry believes he did. Now, I'm sure they would have spoken to the Queen about this. Maybe she just felt that it was just put to her that was the case and it hadn't been cleared. We're not going to find out because they're not going to allow it to, they're not going to give any more detail, but it's stupid just coming out with legal action on little things like this because it's never going to end up in the court. It's just ridiculous. Yeah,
look, it's stupid coming out with legal action, but isn't it also stupid for the palace and their people to dig in on something such a minor issue?
Well, if it was been put out there that the Queen had cleared this and the Queen had told the advisor, I never cleared it, his job is to work for the Queen. It's not his job to work for
But she could have
Harry.
said, "Oh, doesn't really matter. I'm quite chuffed. Just play along and support
Well,
Harry."
I think she probably did, Kochi. She probably did. But the fact is, the way it's been interpreted, because the BBC wrote it so hard as a story, you know, the Queen did not give him permission. It looks different to if we're discussing it on air. It just feels different, and he's just reacted to it. And now it's become a big controversy with lawyers getting involved, and the only winners here are the lawyers. To me, I feel sorry for the little girl. You know, she's just a sweet little girl, just been born, and there's a big row about her name, Lilibet Diana, when there shouldn't be. There should be people rejoicing that she's healthy.
And Harry's due to come back next month for Diana's statue.
That'll be nice. Family dinner, won't it?
Yeah, terrific. All right,
Pass the potatoes.
Thanks, mate. Talk soon.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, yeah, to be a fly.
I said pass the potatoes.
No, to be a butler in that room.
I know.